billboard, and more at Madison Axe's state-of-the-art entertainment spot. Visit MadisonAxe.com or head to their location on Stoughton Road today. The Green Bay Packers preseason is finally here as the Packers will host the New York Jets this Saturday night, and former wide receiver turned cornerback Bo Melton is excited for his first real game at corner.
Definitely going to be one for the books for the first time going out there, at corner, but definitely confident. I'm ready to go. I feel like they have really, coached me up to the point where I am now. I feel like I'm getting better every single day. I just want to keep stacking, keep getting better every day. I can't control everything. So at the end of the day, I just want to go out there and be myself, and play at corner.
The Packers will kick off against the Jets this Saturday night at 7 p.m. up in Lambeau Field. On to Major League Baseball. The Milwaukee Brewers are back in action tonight after they were off yesterday. They host the New York Mets. First pitch is at 7:10 right here on 100.5 ESPN.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow. Oh.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
Murr.
It's Murr.
I'm the flower, it's Murr.
And I'm not taking a lot of credit because I've done this before.
Well, it wasn't elite when Aaron Rodgers at the end of his career was there, Jim Rutledge. That sounded really silly. But Jim Rutledge would say they've leveled down. So if Jim Rutledge is going to say they've leveled down, you would think that somebody lives in that state that would know that, named Jim Rutledge.
I'm already tired, by the way. Just hearing all of this, I'm already tired and exhausted.
It was, it was a day.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside John Audius. Here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. At the Mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
I'm Jim Rutledge. I have the power in the Everlight Solar Studio alongside John Audius. Primetime Laura Sean behind the glass. And we are going to, not right away, but we will be joined by Freddie Coleman. You heard him in the open there, Freddie and Harry, usually on ESPN National Radio, but he was also filling in for our good friend Evan Cohen on Unsportsmanlike, who we talked to yesterday, as we have created somewhat of a national conversation, John, with this show of asking if the Packers leveled down from the Aaron Rodgers era to the Jordan Love era. We'll talk to Freddie about that in a few minutes. We also created a little bit of local viral talk and picked up on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy and KBN, I believe, and maybe even Wilde and Tausch, talking about the question we threw out yesterday in Brewers Mania, which was, would you give up 5 years of the Green Bay Packers missing the playoffs if it guaranteed the Milwaukee Brewers winning the World Series? And latest results we have here is 75% of you say, give me the World Series, which means only 25% of you said, yeah, go ahead. And only 25% of you said, nope, can't give up on the Packers. So that is a surprising poll in a state where the Packers are so incredibly popular. You can still chime in on that 844-770-3776 on the Carbos Talking text line. List is more. That was our siding unlimited poll question, John.
Yeah, and it makes sense to me. 75% of the people, I would take the World Series title in a heartbeat.
The funny thing is, our great producer, Primetime Wollersheim, thought that would definitely...
He thought it'd be the flipped.
Yes. He thought it would definitely be the inverse of that. And actually, Paul and Madison chiming in as we were talking about this before the show started, that Alex Strofe did a screechy rendition of Put a Ring on It. I don't know what the context of it was. We just heard screaming in our ears. But then, John, it was shared here that you were runner-up on the Dan Patrick Show for a song that you made.
Yeah, I was in the Final Fork. of their competition in March for a rap parody I did for Meat Friday on the Dan Patrick Show to Eminem's Lose Yourself.
I do actually remember this.
Some of my finest work in my rap career. So, it brought back memories a little bit there.
Can you give us a little freestyle now? Or?
Ooh, I'm not good at the freestyle. I got to write it down.
Okay, I didn't know how much it's stuck in your, play the hits sort of thing there. I didn't know how much it's stuck in.
I'd have to have a couple Coors Lights and be a little bit more chill, and then I might be able to rhyme a couple of bars.
Awesome.
I think that's how you say it.
And then also, Tyler and Sun Prairie chimes in. Ryan, please let Freddie know that Jim is constantly crapping on the Packers. That's his thing. National radio doesn't get it.
That sounded really silly.
Yeah.
Did you know? I mean, obviously you didn't know it was going to take off when you said it.
No. Also, real clear, I'm the guy that's almost the most dead on for the Packers because I said that Jordan Love statistically would be the exact same quarterback he was last year as he was the year before, and I thought the Packers were not going to win the division. I thought they'd win 10 games last year. They won 11. So, it's not crapping on them. It's being accurate. It's just every other radio show on this station throws flowers at their feet and be like, I don't know, they could win 13. Matthew Golden might just be the next Justin Jefferson.
I feel like, listen, I spent a lot of time in radio as the Vikings guy, and I think sometimes you don't want to hear it, but you need the other perspective because I've never tried to be Homer guy, purple gonna beat the green and gold. I've only tried to seriously try to point out things that I think Packers fans might miss because of their fandom. I feel sometimes when you get fans of other teams talking about your team, you don't maybe want to hear some of the things they say, but they might be actually more accurate or things that maybe you as a fan have overlooked.
Well, if you are a fan of ESPN Radio on the whole, you know the voice and the name of Freddie Coleman. Currently does Freddie and Harry, but has also been on national radio for, I feel like, as long as I can remember. One of our teammates here said that Freddie was one of his favorites to listen to after working at a restaurant. He'd get in the car and Freddie was on. So it was a treat for me, Freddie Coleman, to be able to hear you say my name first thing in the morning on Wednesday morning as I'm getting out of bed. So thanks for that, Freddie. Appreciate it.
Anything I can do to help the ball club, I'm here to help out you guys as much as I possibly can.
No, it was fun, and we've had some fun with it. And we had Evan Cohen on, and he complimented you on what a great guy you are. And you've been filling in on Sportsmanlike, and I've known Evan for about 20 years here. And the conversation, your points were fair, and it's a nuanced conversation with the Packers. And the conversation we kind of settled on with Evan yesterday is really the Packers are the victims of their own success. What they're doing with Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur is still really good, and having that most teams would take that transition, maybe outside of the 49ers from Montana to Young would take this transition. But they were so good, always in the NFC Championship game, basically with Aaron Rodgers, to now not winning the division. That was kind of more what I was pointing out, is that somehow Detroit has elevated to themselves kings of the North when it used to be the Packers.
Yeah, you're not wrong as far as that goes, Jim. And I know it has to be hard for Packers fans. You look at a Lions team that a lot of people, plenty of years, look at there's 2 wins on your schedule, and those days are completely over. What Dan Campbell has been able to do, but I don't mind that Packers fans have high expectations, and I also don't mind when you gentlemen call out the Packers for who they are. If you believe that the Packers are not being the golden children at that point, you're not doing yourselves any favors or your listeners any favors by saying on the good ship lollipop that the Green Bay Packers are. So I think that was the point I was trying to make in terms of, I hear what you're saying in terms of leveling down based on what you've been able to see from when it came to Brett Favre and then to Aaron Rodgers and now Jordan Love, who seems to have the stone to be that next terrific quarterback in Green Bay. But if you're not getting to a championship game based on what we've seen in previous years. So that's the nuance that you definitely brought to the table that I kind of hammered down maybe a little bit too hard on you when I took offense to that.
That was great.
To prepare for this, Freddie, I asked ChatGPT a little bit about you. And I want to know if you feel like this is accurate. In describing you, ChatGPT says he's known for his smooth style and deep knowledge across different sports. Agreed.
Okay. The smooth style, yes. The deep knowledge, that can be debatable depending on who you talk to.
Were you a play-by-play announcer for high school and a DJ as well coming up in the profession?
Yeah, I did play-by-play and color analyst in high school, and I was able to be I always wanted to be a music DJ when I graduated from college. I wanted to be that next great FM radio DJ. So that was where my loyalty laid out before sports talk radio, and I got bitten by that bug.
Well, how did I'm sorry, I'm going off
I
the
want to know
rails
the
a little.
genre too. The dream genre you could have been in.
Yeah, how do you go from music then to all of a sudden like, oh, now I'm doing sports?
Well, it's amazing you ask that because I'd always loved sports talk radio, but I never thought in a million years I'd be a part of that forum, be a part of that whole discipline, because sports talk radio is definitely an art form, in my opinion. I don't care if it's local. I don't care if it's regional. I don't care if it's national. Having the ability to bring people into your conversations and having a chance to have that back and forth. Not saying that was something I did not want to do. I didn't think I was ever going to be good at it. And I figured as long as I was spinning the wax and playing the CDs and being part of classic rock formats or pop radio formats or soul music formats, that's what I really enjoyed. But once you have a chance to be a part of what I like to call intimate conversations of doing that, that's when it really took hold. And I decided to leave the music business behind, being a DJ from that standpoint, and applying my trade in sports talk radio. So far, so good.
Yeah, I mean, you only get like 30 seconds before a song to be a DJ, but you can get in depth and actually talk, like you said, and have a conversation. So back to the Packers, back to Jordan Love. Is there a timeline for Jordan Love where if he doesn't kind of get to a different level, you might just as a Packers fan say, well, you know what, he's a really good quarterback?
That's a really good question, because I think in a microwave society that we live in, when it comes to how we feel about how our teams are doing or not doing, it can be very easy to shrink that timeline. I think if you ask anybody in Miami, they may be having that conversation about Tua Tagovailoa. You ask anybody in Jacksonville, they're definitely having that conversation about Trevor Lawrence. And when you pay quarterbacks that big time money that early, you know what's going to happen. It's going to increase those expectations, that if you're not delivering on those expectations in a certain amount of time, then that's when things can get really gummy. That's when things can get sticky. So Jordan Love, in my opinion, is not going through anything different than what the other quarterbacks that I mentioned, and that Brock Purdy is going to go through that in San Francisco now that he got his bag. And now people are saying, okay, if you're that good and you get paid that kind of money, you better start delivering. You better outplay those quarterbacks. Your teams better get further and further into the playoffs. And I think at a certain point, if Jordan Love is not there now this season, after what he's done the last couple of seasons, that's going to be a situation next year. Let's say Green Bay Packers get to the playoffs and are one and done. Then we're going to hear that conversation get louder and louder and louder regarding Jordan Love.
Talking with Freddie Coleman here from ESPN on Jim, Matt, and Molly. And while we're in the North here, and I know you guys have talked about some of this on Unsportsmanlike, let's kind of stick around it. I want to get your thoughts from a wider perspective on the other teams in the North and the quarterbacks in general, because Jared Goff he's not an old man. He's 29, but he's got a lot of experience, so he's still in his prime. I think he's kind of a guy that everyone just assumes they know exactly who he is. J.J. McCarthy, he didn't even have a true traditional sitting year because he was hurt. He didn't get a chance to get a lot of reps and time in there, but Kevin O'Connell has proven with getting a lot out of Cousins and Sam Bradford that he can – not Sam Bradford. Who am I? Sam Darnold. Sam Bradford. All of a sudden there. But and then Caleb Williams, we don't know what's going to happen with him, but it's almost a new rookie year with Ben Johnson as his coach. So it's an interesting division with the quarterbacks.
It's a great point, because I made this point about a couple of days ago. I said, if he stays healthy, Jordan Love has the least amount of questions regarding him at quarterback than anybody in this division. The big question with Jared Goff is, what is he going to look like in this offense without Ben Johnson, who's now the head coach of Chicago? What is Caleb Williams going to look like now that Ben Johnson left Detroit to go to Chicago Bears? And many people wonder, with this kind of talent, will he be able to put it together sooner than later? J.J. McCarthy had a gap year last year because of the injury, and now he's stepping into a situation with two outstanding wide receivers in Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, who are going to be compromised when game one rolls around, because we don't know what Justin Jefferson is going to look like dealing with a hamstring injury, and Jordan Addison suspended the first 3 games by violating the substance abuse policy in the National Football League. You look at Jordan Love going to the Green Bay Packers, and as long as he stays injury-free, they don't have any big injuries outside of the offensive line. They had those kind of troubles in preseason camp already. He has the least amount of questions because we've seen what he's been able to do when he's healthy. And if he's able to be that kind of quarterback that we've seen, that can make the Packers not just a threat in that division, but can make the Packers a threat in the NFC to Philadelphia, Los Angeles, and everybody else.
I have another one here to kind of follow up on that with is in the future, if we're looking ahead, let's say 3 years from now, like who do you see as the best quarterback in the North? Because there are questions, but some of these guys, like you could argue that Caleb might have the highest ceiling, but we don't know where his floor is at. So in 3 years, who do you think will end up being that best quarterback in the North?
I think it's going to be Jordan Love. I'm not just saying that because I'm on your radio show, guys, but I just think that his ceiling and his ability, that if he keeps making those layups, we know he can go for the Big Bang Theory. That not only works for Sheldon Cooper, but it works for Jordan Love at times, hitting those deep shots down the field. But I think he's going to get better as a quarterback if you can make those layups. On 3rd and 5, you hit that pass in the flat. 3rd and 6, you hit that quick slant on the inside. It can't just be about the big playability, because the more you keep hunting for those plays and they're not going to be there, then those basics are really going to come back to haunt you if you don't nail that down. If he starts making those kind of throws consistently and then you hit on those big shots, then his ceiling to me is going to be better potentially than Caleb Williams, even though he has that quote-unquote generational kind of talent ability. J.J. McCarthy fits what Minnesota is going to do, but he doesn't have the arm strength, in my opinion, that Jordan Love has. And Jared Goff, and you're right, he's been around for more than a minute, but he's not even 30 years of age yet. But how many bites of the apple is he going to get to try to be a championship quarterback? I think in 3 years, because of Jordan Love and his ability, that what he learned from Aaron Rodgers being the understudy and keep getting better and reducing those turnovers and those mistakes, he could be at the top of the division in the NFC North.
J.J. McCarthy, of course, the unknown here of all these quarterbacks in the division. But I feel like he's kind of set up with Kevin O'Connell to have some success there. Justin Jefferson. I mean, he's got some pieces around him. Do you think this will be a smooth transition for him?
If it's going to be a smooth transition, the one key name you mentioned was his coach, Kevin O'Connell. I think he's one of the top 5 coaches in the National Football League. Whatever quarterback whispering that he does, that's the secret sauce that a lot of people love to have, because people thought Sam Darnold's career was flat done. And what did he do last year? Won 14 games when people did not think this team's going to win 9 or 10 football games. He can do the same thing with J.J. McCarthy, because Kevin O'Connell, and like Matt LaFleur as well in Green Bay, they're so good at putting their quarterbacks in win situations where you can win on first down, then a second and short, or making those kind of easy throws and scheme people open, or the quarterbacks can read the defense properly and get the ball to their playmakers. He's been sensational doing that, what he's been able to do in Minnesota, where he did with Kirk Cousins before the injury, and then he did it with Sam Darnold last year. I trust in what he believes and what he brings to the table. And yeah, it's going to be a bumpy road early. It's the National Football League. We're not talking about high school where you go from the junior varsity, then you go to the varsity, and then it's Friday Night Lights. We're not talking about that. But if anybody can ease that transition and make it more of a smooth ride for a young quarterback that has not taken an NFL snap yet, he could not be in a better position with J.J. McCarthy having Kevin O'Connell as his head coach.
Speaking of head coaches, and we talked about LaFleur and Jordan Love, there was an article he wrote for the Players Tribune about the Aaron. Obviously, some really insightful stuff about his father, but he talked a lot about Aaron Rodgers and the impact he had. And so, in a perfect world, how long do you think that perfect time is for a quarterback to be able to sit? We saw Mahomes sat a year, and obviously had Alex Smith in front of him, and Aaron Rodgers was here, and that's the luxury that not every team has, because usually what happens is you get Chicago and you have Mike Glennon and you have Mitch Trubisky sitting, and you're like, well, we just got to play Mitch because Mike stinks. So it's not very easily done, but in a perfect scenario, having an offensive-minded coach and then having a guy sit for at least a year, because Jason Wilde, who covered the Packers, said that if Jordan Love had to play year one, he'd probably turn out like Marcus Mariota, but out of the league because everyone had given up on him.
Yeah, it depends on the organizational policy involving that. Here's why I say that. For example, you look at C.J. Stroud, his first year at the Houston Texans. He was so advanced, there was no need to wait. They weren't rushing him along, and what happened? They win the division, win a playoff game, and they gave the Baltimore Ravens holy you-know-what in that first half. Same situation with Jaden Daniels with the Washington Commanders, where we knew he was going to be terrific, but he was terrific early, and they said there's no need to wait. This guy is going to be ready. It depends on your evaluation before that young player gets to the practice field. Now, you mentioned Patrick Mahomes sat for 1 year. Alex Smith was so good, there was no need to rush Patrick Mahomes along. And when he was ready to play, they played in that final regular season game against the Denver Broncos, and he's been tearing apart the league ever since. It depends on what that situation looks like, where if you got an experienced team, but if your quarterback's not ready, you're not doing him any favors or your team any favors by rushing him out there. The Bears had to do that last year because they felt Caleb Williams was ready. He was just completely undercoached by Matt Eberflus and that staff, and all those guys are no longer there. So it all depends on what kind of quarterback aptitude you have coming into that room. If you believe that player is not ready, or if the guy in front of him is too ready, then you don't need to rush your quarterback along. You don't need to play to what the fans are saying. Hey, play him early and find out what happens. Sometimes that works, but a lot of times it really does not.
Well, Freddie, we appreciate you joining the show, and we have mutual friends in Evan Cohen, who I've known for 20 years. Gabe Neitzel, I've known since he's been about 19 years old, so a lot of mutual friends, so I got a chance to actually talk with you on the air. We appreciate it, and thanks for being a good sport about this.
Oh, and thank you for being a good sport as well, Jim, and also when it comes to you guys in your radio show, so anytime you guys want me to come back, I would love to do it again. Appreciate you guys.
We greatly appreciate that, Freddie. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Have a good weekend.
All right, you two. That was Freddie Coleman from Freddie and Harry. You also can hear him on Unsportsmanlike. He's filled in a couple times there for Evan Cohen.
That sounded really silly.
I think we all know that he's been on Unsportsmanlike, Jim. That went without saying.
That is true. that is very true. It was great stuff from him. You can stream that on the ESPN Wisconsin app. Obviously, you can stream today's show on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream as well. And look, as the year kind of moves along here, if you're looking to improve your body, whether it's through treatments like semaglutide, whether it is you could do hormone replacement treatments. If you feel like your hormone levels are low, go talk to Dr. Ness Rodriguez and see how maybe he can help you. Also, there's workout facilities there. There's cryotherapy there. There's red light therapy there. All different ways to get back to the version of you that you want to be at Carbon World Health. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
So, random Marlin player, Dan Ugla.
All that's going through my head right now is U-G-L-Y. You ain't got no alibi. You ugly.
I'll give you another one real quick before we get to our signing limit poll question.
You ugla. You ugla.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Milwaukee baseball was born in the Emerald City, but any ties to the Pacific Northwest were cut loose decades ago. Pella has an interesting history as well. Born in Pella, Iowa, but their century-long history of crafting quality windows and doors there continues to this day. Designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance, get long-term energy savings and durability that lasts for years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Order by August 31st and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Pizza Hut is hiring, and you're invited to the party. On Tuesday, August 12th, Pizza Hut is hosting on-the-spot interviews for drivers, crew, and managers for all area stores, including full and part-time roles. Enjoy flexible hours, full benefits if you work 30-plus hours a week, and real opportunities to grow. Plus, free pizza and drinks for everyone who interviews on August 12th. Join them from 1 to 6:30 p.m. at 7468 Mineral Point Road in Madison. Bring your appetite and your resume to Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sports book for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. With a legacy of excellence and an extensive selection of quality Ford vehicles, it's the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at MetroFordofMadison.com. That's MetroFordofMadison.com. Or visit them on the east side of Madison today.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors. It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's National Park of Speed, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best racers since 1955. Camp on site all weekend, free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. GT World Challenge America is up next August 15th through the 17th. Get your tickets today at roadamerica.com.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
Today's a great day to go to Ritz Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. They got the Sizzle, Swizzle, and Swirl happy hour. It's the best kept secret in Madison. You can go to Ritz Chris and get one of their great drinks or a burger, seared sashimi, steak sandwich, so many great things at such a happy hour price, which is fantastic at Ritz Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. The Horseshoe Bar is one of a kind as well. One thing, John Hadius, Jim Rutledge with you, Jim, Matt, and Molly. Primetime Laura Sean Behind the Glass. You can stream us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream or on the ESPN Wisconsin app. One thing I don't think they serve at Ritz Chris, I don't think they ever will be pocket pancakes.
You sure? They're kind of all the rage right now, Jim.
So, Ryan, John's a Brewers fan too, but you're the resident Brewer fan. You sent this to us. So give us a quick backstory on the pocket pizza.
So the pocket pizza originated. Well, actually, it started with the pocket pancakes.
Sorry, yeah.
But there's pocket pizza, there's pocket pancakes. It does get a little confusing. So what initially happened was Pat Murphy, the Brewers manager, when they were out on their road trip to the Nationals this past weekend, on Friday, the broadcast on Apple TV, they were interviewing him during the second, third inning, whatever. They're already up by a lot of runs, so nobody was really paying attention to what was going on in the game by that point. They were starting to get to know Pat Murphy a little bit more because, he's a bit of a hooligan, one might say.
It's not behavior conducive to a winning ball club.
He's a character.
He's a total character. But he actually, at one point, they were talking about the snacks or what they eat before the games, and he actually pulls, just randomly out of his pocket, he pulls a pancake out of his pocket. See, here we got pancakes. They're delicious. It's been a great time here in D.C. And the reporter's just befuddled by whatever the heck's going on.
Yeah, she took a bite of the pancake, too.
She did. She
Good
was
for her.
all about it.
And actually, I believe that reporter, and I don't have her name, and I'm dropped the ball on that. She I should say served time because that's how I feel about Green Bay. She worked in Green Bay for a little bit.
Which is probably why then she might have had the connections. Somebody maybe tipped her off in the first place, right? But
possibly, yeah.
So then after that, they asked Pat Murphy about it in the postgame, all the Brewers reporters asking him in just like the media scrum, right? And he goes on to disclose that he doesn't just do pocket pancakes. He's got pocket pizza because apparently when they're on their road trips, one of his go-to moves is walking through the hotel hallways the day after a game or the morning of a game. He's a little hungry. Well, what do you know? You walk through these nice hotels, people leave out their room service, their pizza boxes.
That can't be true.
For garbage for people to take in the morning.
I heard him say that. I'm with you. Was he just embellishing there?
So there's no embellishing, apparently. What he does is he walks past those and he goes, oh, some free pizza lying around, guys.
No.
What's wrong with this? Why not just grab a couple pieces?
It was egregious behavior.
It is truly egregious behavior, Pat, because it's disgusting that he finds cold pizza laying around, and then he keeps it with him for the game as snacks pregame or during.
That person could have had a cold, the flu.
That's got to be
eating pizza.
What if it's an anchovy pizza?
Like it goes right now, and also Trisha Whitaker is the reporter, and I know she tweeted out something that she worked in Green Bay for a little bit. But I want to just point this out, and that it would go from a cute, fun story that Murphy has pancakes and pizza in his pockets to I worry there's something else going on if he's grabbing leftovers out of the hallway. You know what I mean? It goes from fun
why is
to
he
like,
doing that?
Yeah, it goes from fun to like, is Pat okay? Like right now, it's a fun story, and I'm wondering if Matt Hamilton, resident foodie, should let Pat know about his food. He's got a sweatshirt with a pizza pocket.
He sure does.
I was gonna say I could see Hamilton like having pocket pancakes or pizza. So
yeah, but he's got a sweatshirt that has a pouch for a pizza.
There you go.
It's right on his chest.
I wish I just don't think we have the ability to hold video for that long. There's a video of Matt Hamilton on the show pulling pizza out of his pizza sweatshirt and eating it.
That video does exist. I also sent this to Matt right away after where I saw this last weekend, and it was like, Matt, where's your pocket pizza? Pat Murphy obviously needs one.
Yeah, right.
I mean, he should have sent him one by now.
Dude, I'm looking up pizza pocket hoodies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Does it have a zipper?
Yeah. Matt's did have a zipper.
Right across the
he was
chest.
out east. He was given this. He was gifted it.
Oh, yes, by the Italian restaurateurs, remember?
Yeah.
$60 for a pocket, or not a pocket, for a pizza hoodie. That's
or
pretty
free
cool.
if you're an Olympic curler.
Or free, yeah, if you're Matt Hamilton. By the way, Murph's Pocket Pancakes will be at Sunday home games. 2 varieties. Which ones would you guys get? The Ball 4 Pocket Pack includes 4 pocket pancakes and a choice of maple syrup or strawberry how do you pronounce that? Compote? Is it compote?
Compote.
Compote?
Yeah, compote.
Dipping sauce for $4.99. That's a deal, dude. Or the Double Chicken and Pancakes Pocket Pack includes 2 chicken tender stuffed pancakes topped with chopped bacon and a sweet maple syrup drizzle for $8.
I would go with the latter because that actually seems like there's a little bit of protein in it. It seems like an actual something you could get that's something you could almost see like you watch the show The Bear. Like it's something you could see.
It's like chicken and waffles.
Yeah,
almost.
like a fancied, gussied up chicken and waffles. And that one I could understand a little more. Chicken and waffles are delicious. The other, also I feel like even for that price, I'm getting so ripped off. Not for the $8.95, but I would imagine a pancake, especially at scale, costs like
a couple cents.
Yeah, 5 cents to make.
Yeah.
So like they're 25 cents cost, and they're just raking in the money. And the pancakes, I'm lukewarm on pancakes to begin with, and then if I'm not putting anything on them, it gets kind of like eating air. Like the girls love pancakes. We have them like Sunday morning, and usually I'm like, well, we got to have like bacon or sausage. Otherwise, one, they kind of almost expand in my stomach. I can eat like one, maybe 1.5, and then I'm hungry like an hour later because you're not actually really eating anything. So
you need a little something else. So the chicken tender
the chicken will at least
stuffed
help me
one.
be like, because food at the ballpark's expensive, and $8.95 is not bad. It's a fair price. $7.99. So that's not bad. It's a fair price. And then I was like, you know what? I could eat that and then be full and maybe get some popcorn later, and I'd be fine.
I like that. It makes me kind of want to go to a game just to try some pocket pancakes. Is that weird? It's kind of weird.
Which one
it?
are you taking of the two?
Ooh, I'm looking at the double chicken and pocket pancake. It looks like a pancake taco.
It does. There's something wrong about it, though, when I just look at it.
I think I'd go with the chicken one, but there's something cool about just having a $5 like pocket pancake pack. That would be kind of nice, but I would definitely get they should call it, it's more of a pancake taco, honestly.
Really, a chicken pancake taco.
The other one comes in a little like serving box. It looks like it's quite convenient.
Yeah, you can see them on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream right now as well. They do look delicious, but I just wonder if that's just the photos. Once it's like a 90-degree day at AmFam Field, you think either of those taste good?
No, and it's probably like the commercials. You'll see like the hamburger, and then you get there and it's all squashed.
Yeah, it's not good. It's for the novelty.
Yeah.
There's some good food at AmFam Field. That's probably not it. But for the novelty, if you wanted to say you had it, sure.
Yeah.
But I'm not eating it. I don't know. We can ask Jason Wilde about this, and we'll talk to him about some Packer-related things. Jason Wilde coming up next.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Step right up and gaze into my crystal ball. I see flashing lights, spinning reels, and a big win. This August, you have a ticket to a cash carnival at Potawatomi. Play with your rewards card and earn entries to win your share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Prize drawings every Thursday through August 28th. Your fortune awaits only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Brian here from Canopy Wealth Management. At Canopy, we create strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. We've invested heavily in client-friendly software so your assets and plan progress are available to view in one place at any time. Whether you prefer only the high-level information or enjoy the intricate details of the planning process, we've got you covered. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships. Still going, lowers his shoulder into the end zone. Touchdown, Wanakee.
The most compelling stories.
Where are you going to be playing basketball next year?
I'm proud and excited to announce that I'll be going to the University of Charleston.
We are now joined by the Executive Director of the WIAA, Stephanie Hauser.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Summer is here, and there's no better way to celebrate than with Door County Distillery. Hey, it's Alex Stroh. I've been telling you for years how great Door County Distillery is. Locally produced, handcrafted, and award-winning spirits made locally in beautiful Door County. The sun is shining, and so can the Rock Island Rum from Door County Distillery in your summertime cocktail. Otherwise, vodkas, gins, whiskeys, brandies, and more, it's all available from the award-winning Door County Distillery. Find a huge list of unique cocktail recipes and the retailer nearest you, doorcountydistillery.com. That's doorcountydistillery.com.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
The sound of summer is on ESPN Madison.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Madison's home of the Brewers.
Mizorowski deals. Struck him out. A heater at 101.
Catch every Milwaukee Brewers game this season on 100.5 ESPN.
Back and watching it sail. It's a grand slam.
Brewers baseball on ESPN Madison is presented by Hard Rock Casino Rockford and brought to you by Starion Bank and Sinden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Jason, quick
You
question.
are one of one.
Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
Thank you for helping me prove my point, Molly. Because
welcome.
my point. Well, is this Matt Hamilton?
Molly said it best. I said fart in the bathtub. She said gross.
Do you have a question for Jason, or how is he supposed to respond to this?
He asked the questions to me. No bats.
By hanging up.
Jason Wilde is on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
What's up with that? What's up with that?
We'll get Jason Wilde with us in a minute, but actually I have decided, because I love my big blue truck from Sinden Chevy in Mount Horeb so much, that we're going to take that on vacation up north this week, because the truck bed is big, the cab is big, so I just don't have to try to. My wife's got an SUV, and we have to buy we have it, and that was the only reason I was going to do it. I was like, you had to buy the attachment to put on the back of it, and then you can put more things in the attachment. But still, in this vehicle we have an SUV, it's a smaller one. Everyone's still kind of jammed in there, and I can't see out the sides, and it's just a tight experience. And I said, you know what? We're just going to take the truck up, because there's more room inside the interior of the truck. There's more room in the truck bed. The packing will be nice and easy. So we're going to do that. So we're taking the big blue truck on vacation up to Cable, Wisconsin. So if you see my Sinden Chevy, say hello. You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Sinden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jason Wilde joins us. Jason, how are you on this humid Friday?
I'm doing great. I'm happy here in the Wilde family laundry room, getting stuff folded, so I'm good. Nice and cool.
Well, sometimes that laundry room get warm, so obviously the dryer's not running there, so that's good, because otherwise that could be a little bit of a sauna experience anyways.
That's true, but doing a lot of delicates, so
Okay.
I got it on the air fluff.
Okay.
This You had no idea the level of information you were about to get.
Well, now I want to know:
about laundry.
Are you the laundry person in the house? Because I do the dishwasher and some other things that take less nuance and skill.
Laundry's the worst of all the chores.
I agree, because I do vacuuming and I do dishes because they're very simple and I can see when they're done, and it's outside of when my wife decides to put stuff in new places. She's like, "Oh, I've moved the plates now to somewhere else." It takes me 6 months to figure that out. But otherwise, I like simple tasks that I can start and finish in a short window. What made you want to be the laundry person at your house?
I'm great at it. I don't brag about much. I think you know this.
Yeah. Well, the machine does a lot of the work.
Thing. Well, not if you're trying to get a stain out and you're figuring out different combinations of stain remover to get that stain out of somebody's favorite dress. I mean, I put up my skills against anybody. Mr. Clean, bring it on. I don't know who else is in that space. I'm not sure, but the bottom line is I love this job,
Wow.
and plus it allows me to get stuff done. Yeah, the Sham Wow guy.
Yeah.
I got to get to the fair before that guy's gone.
Yeah, you do. You also got to eat the. What would you rather eat, a bug donut or a pocket pancake? In honor of the pocket pancakes being served at AmFam Field for Pat Murphy, or the Jason. We saw Mizrowski eating a bug donut at the State Fair. So both of them are in the state of Wisconsin available. It had crickets on top of it.
It was piled with. It looked like it was bad. It was too many bugs.
It was crickets, ants. I believe there were spiders as well. But you can see it on the ESPN Madison YouTube.
You're missing
stream.
me completely with spiders.
Yeah, no, any of them.
Yeah, any of them, but ants and spiders. But spiders.
It was
definitely
heavy toppings with the bugs.
No wonder he's on the IL.
Right. Yeah, it's got a stomach ache. Also, he looks way too much like Riley. As that video keeps on replaying, Mizrowski and Riley Yauk look a lot alike. It throws me for a little bit of a loop.
I think I saw Riley post about that on his socials about how somebody thought he was the Miz and thought he was taller or something, and they thought he was really him. So yeah, I can see it for sure.
I guess that would work against Riley because he's not as tall as Miz, so then you constantly get that. I thought you were taller. Nobody wants to hear that. So I guess that
especially not Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. We had Freddie Coleman on, and he also
Love Freddie.
It was interesting to hear him say my name multiple times Wednesday morning on Unsportsmanlike, but he was a good sport and joined the show, coming after me a little bit. And I know that you and Tausch apparently had a spirited debate about the leveling down, and Evan Cohen joined the show yesterday, and it kind of just came to the conclusion of it's almost a compliment to the Packers that when Aaron Rodgers, outside the last year with the Packers and LaFleur, they were basically always winning the division, always going to the NFC Championship game. And when that's your standard, finishing the 7 seed and second and third, and the Lions beating you, I think, 6 out of 7 times and not winning the division, to me is a clear level down. It doesn't mean they're going to stay down. It just means they were blue chip, and now they're just good. But apparently that offended a lot of people.
I wasn't offended.
I would say you were. I was just Tauscher was mad at me the whole appearance yesterday. So,
yeah, that's true. Look, I think as much mileage as everyone got out of that, right? I mean, from a national perspective, I did not see that coming.
Me either.
But I'm sure you didn't.
I had no idea when I blind reacted to it because I was just told that they were talking about something I said on on Sportsmanlike, but I was told not to react to it. So I was like, I couldn't have guessed, and I would have guessed in 10 guesses that was the thing that took off. But sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, and that was the day that you guys were filling in.
Yeah.
It was the Jim, Matt, and Molly takeover of our show. So I actually talked about it with you in real time that day, and then I talked about it with you again subsequently after it went viral or whatever the kids would call it.
Yeah.
And again, it's not like you didn't make a reasonable statement. My disagreement comes from and look, they underachieved in terms of getting to Super Bowls, winning championships, etc. when they had Aaron Rodgers. So, saying that they have leveled down, it's not quite as precipitous of a drop as, say, I don't know, the New England Patriots have leveled down in the last 5 years, right? And so, but I understood what you were saying. My thing is that, and I said this, I think, on our show or wherever we were reacting I feel like I had to react to your statement on pretty much every program we have.
Sorry.
But, like, Jordan Love, and look, it doesn't matter now because he turned out to be good. But he wasn't when he got here. And all the revisionist history of, how good he is now that everyone knew it, they're just lying. And frankly, Goody wouldn't have signed on. Remember, Rodgers' contract was going to be up. Like, they could have moved on from him fairly easily, and instead they extended him. And so it was because they didn't know that Jordan was going to be as good as he's been. Like, now the question is, how good is he going to be? And so, I don't even think Goody can say, I knew it all along. Yeah, you didn't. Otherwise, you wouldn't have put up with Rodgers' crap because you never liked him to begin with. He's rubbed you the wrong way, and everyone can see how he could rub people the wrong way. So my thing is that, to say they've leveled down, I would say with what I was expecting from them in the post-Rodgers era, they have not leveled down.
Yeah.
But this is the thing that gets everybody irritated, because I do it too, Jim, and because I think it's germane. How would we be looking at this team right now, heading into 2025, if they had not expanded the playoffs in 2021?
Yeah.
Right? The expansion of the playoffs and the 17-game schedule, back then, when you had Aaron Rodgers, who then had his second straight and fourth overall MVP season in 2021, the whole conversation about them expanding the playoffs was, you got to get the number one seed now, so you get the bye, which they, of course, did and squandered. But at no point back then with the Packers were we talking about, well, at least there's an extra playoff spot so you can get in as the 7th seed, right?
Yep.
I mean,
and they've done that twice now.
That's one of the things, Jason, that I agreed with Jim simply from the perspective of looking at records.
Of a Vikings fan.
From a Vikings fan. Just looking at records and how things have gone. And part of my sub-points of agreeing with Jim was, hey, guys, nobody talks about this because it is what it is now. But if the NFL doesn't expand the playoffs, it's a totally different conversation. We're talking about how Jordan Love can't even make the playoffs.
Right, and on top of that, like, let's not forget how last year played out, right? Like, Love gets hurt. Everybody likes to say, well, he won 2 more games than he did the previous year. No, he didn't.
Oh, God, thank God Matt's not here. Matt got so mad at me on Wednesday when I pointed that out to him because he was trying to say, like, well,
but it's true.
I know. I agree. We said on it. He was just saying, well, he's on the team, so the wins count for him. I was like, that's not how anything works.
Well, and on top of that, like, let's be honest, and this is why this is going to be such a fascinating year. And again, we don't need to live in the past. That's it. Whatever that is what it is. Right now, it's onward, upward, and what are they going to do in 2025? That's how I look at it. But if we're going to have this conversation, they also played the Fox River Classic Conference and got to play all those AFC South teams, all of whom stink, right? Even Houston, when they played them, was in the midst of stinking.
Yep.
So that helps you go 11-6, and it helps when your backup quarterback wins 2 games all by himself that you missed, and then wins the 3rd one when you left before halftime. So, again, that's all history. The past is prologue. All that matters is what they do this year. But in terms of the conversation that you were part of and then poured a gallon of gasoline on with your take is that, look, they were a game or 2 away each year from not making the playoffs even with the 7th seed in play. That's the difference in this league. And so, you can't take anything for granted, and you have to be realistic about how hard it is to win. And while that helps them in the argument of, hey, the Packers made it look easy with the way, Rodgers won in the regular season every single year, even years when he broke his collarbone, he still managed to have them in contention. But the bottom line is that it's really hard, and they're going to have a hard road this year. And if they go 12-5 and have a win a playoff game, even if it has to be on the road because of the division. To me, that's a pretty successful season. I think it'll get those guys extensions longer than just a year, and we'll feel kind of like we felt about this team in 23. If they do the same thing as last year, kind of struggle, 10-7, sneak in as the 7, lose in the first round, at what point does the new team president say, okay, this is great, we're treading water, but we're certainly not swimming like Michael Phelps here. Maybe we need to go a different direction.
Talking with Jason Wilde. So where do your eyes go first? First preseason game of the season when the Packers and Jets play. What is the number one thing Jason Wilde is watching?
Well, my eyes are gonna go to Bo Melton.
Yeah.
At least in this one, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure what was going on with Keyshawn Nixon yesterday, but the fact that he didn't work in 11-on-11, and neither did obviously Nate Hobbs, who had the scope on his knee. I want to see what Bo can do, because I'm not one to carry around a lot of pom-poms, but I have been a fan of this guy and this move for a while, and said, hey, it's going to be a work in progress, but his skill set is pretty amazing, and he's pretty damn athletic and fast, and it's gone better than I envisioned. Again, no one is going to be renaming any islands in his honor, but you can't deny that he's been better than anyone could have hoped. But now he's going to get a test. Trot him out there and line him up against Garrett Wilson and see what happens.
Yeah,
and if he gets cooked, he gets cooked.
You said you're a fan of this move. Is it because of all those attributes that you see in him as an athlete?
I mean, first of all, he's my favorite player on the roster as a human being. I think he's everything that I want my kids to be in terms of a teammate, in terms of uplifting other people. Like, he's just phenomenal that way. Secondly, everyone kind of reacted to this as, oh, this is the death knell for his career. And I said from the very beginning, they're just trying to find an excuse to keep him on the roster to play special teams, which, again, is another thankless job that he does without complaint. Remember, in 2023, of all those wide receivers they had on that team, he was the one who had a 100-yard game first in the second to last game of the season. But to me, the biggest thing is that, when you have a player who has all those other intangibles, and he's a key player on special teams, and you've added so many wide receivers, I said from the beginning, it's because of who else they added at receiver. He's not the best. He's not one of the best 6 wide receivers now, right? If the top 4 are healthy, you got the 2 draft picks, they had to find a place to put him on the roster. And this felt like at the time maybe a little bit of we'll just put a CB next to his name, but he'll really be a special teams guy. But what he has done in these first 2.5 weeks, I challenge anyone who plays any sport, right? I mean, talk to Kelly Sheffield. Talk to him about players that do whatever it takes for the team. It doesn't matter what sport or what team or even what level. What he has done is embraced the challenge and been really surprisingly good at it. And I hope that continues.
Yeah, I mean, those types of play. I just think of Julio Ojo, who was a left side hitter and then played libero for a long time, then went back to left side hitter. So yeah, I mean, when you have players like that are unselfish, it means the world to coaches. So
yeah, I'm gonna wait a while to put Sydney on Kelly's roster. But there was a game where she played outside hitter, and she doesn't have a very tall dad or mom, so it was not a good role for her. But they had somebody else that set for a little while, and she did that. And so what I love about Bo, and maybe I think of it differently than when I was covering the team as a single guy who didn't have kids and didn't go to high school sporting events as a parent, but he sets such a great example. And one thing that, Jim, this from Bears teams that were a mess. I know this from the occasional Packers team that's been a mess over the years. If your chemistry is really jacked up, you don't have a chance, no matter how much talent you have. You may win enough games to get in the playoffs, but you ain't winning a title. And I bet you look back, John, on the Badgers national championship team and say that chemistry was phenomenal. Maybe other years it wasn't as good. But Bo Melton is a culture guy on top of being a a team guy, and a guy that can apparently be their version of Travis Hunter.
And those players are important. I mean, it's all retroactive now, but most of the narrative coming out of Chicago was that there were some players and the coaches it all had gone completely sour, and everyone kind of had punted and kind of checked out on that Bears team as they went through that losing streak. Now they have Ben Johnson there. They did joint practices today with the Dolphins, and I bring that up because I see a lot out of Chicago, and I haven't heard recently from LaFleur on this, but Ben Johnson seems to be a coach that leans into the joint practices are far more important than the preseason games. And to hear him talk about it, I'm starting to lean that way outside of like getting under the lights and the actual like processes of going through game day. Having the ability to put players in specific positions in joint practices to have them work on, because that's what practice is supposed to be. That's why practice stats are dumb. Like to get them to work on what they need to get better on is better than just throwing them out in a preseason game, because there's also a little bit of control in joint practice. Where do you fall on that, and where is Coach LaFleur kind of leaning over the last few years?
Yeah, couldn't agree more with you or with Ben Johnson on that, or on the practice stats. I understand that like gets clicks and stuff, and I'm lucky that Channel 3 has not said, hey, you need to tell us more about how many completions Jordan Love had today, because I just, that's exactly right. Like, you just don't know enough about it to know, like, I'll say this, when he threw a ball into the chest of Tyron Hopper, I knew he wasn't just trying something. He just never saw the guy, right?
Right, yeah.
But there are other times where he's trying stuff that I'm not going to ding him for it, because I don't know, and he certainly does not have enough time in his day to go through the entirety of a practice for me, so I know what was supposed to happen. But when it comes to joint practices, I'll never forget Rodgers belly aching about the Texans ones in 2019. LaFleur's a big proponent of it because it's a controlled environment, so he loves it, and his quarterback can't get hits. But and this is what made it stupid, and this is why it's so important to do it the right way, like they have since. That was when Chuck Pagano was the Bears' defensive coordinator.
Yep.
And his brother John was on the Texans staff. And so LaFleur, as a first-year coach, was petrified of running anything meaningful against the Texans, who were not on his schedule, because then he knew that John Pagano could share the film and share his insights with his brother. And they were opening against the Bears in the first game of the season. So that was a wasted exercise. If you're just going to run vanilla stuff in a joint practice, then what the heck's the point? So that was dumb. But since then, LaFleur has been a big proponent of it, and the likelihood of an injury is so much smaller than it is in a preseason game. I think all coaches. I think what they would really be smart to do is to go to 18-2 for a schedule, and both of your preseason games, you do joint practices first, and then you play all those young guys that you need to find out for on the roster in the actual games.
Don't disagree with that. If you had to put money on it, is Matthew Golden going to be a stud?
I'm not going to put him, and again, it's great to have a Vikings fan and a Bears fan on the panel. But, look, it was pretty clear pretty quickly that Justin Jefferson was special, right? And I don't want to get head over heels on Matthew Golden and start putting him with Jamar Chase and some of these guys that showed it immediately. I mean, what did Jay Jettis have his first? Didn't he have 1,400 yards as a rookie?
Good, yeah.
He hit the ground running.
I don't see that. I don't see that happening here, but I just have been putting it this way. He looks every bit the part of that guy, and I think, as I was saying to someone earlier, the way he just has a pro aura to him, and he really reminds me of the way Greg Jennings came in, and he glides across the field the way Jennings did. He's got strong hands, and he's not even 6 feet tall, but he plays a lot taller. So he is one of the many people that I am fascinated, along with Rashawn Gary, who still tried to tell me earlier this week he's dominant. At least he admitted, I've got to level up my play. But I'm eager to see what him and Van Ness do. Really eager to see how the cornerback situation plays out. And I'll say this on Saturday night, I don't think Rasheed Walker's going to go. He didn't do team stuff yesterday. So it's going to be Jordan Morgan at left tackle. And your first-round pick being out there with no game experience at left tackle since he left college at Arizona, you better make sure you're keeping your quarterback on 3- and 5-step drops, because do not let him extend the play because you're asking for trouble.
Jason, thank you so much. Molly and I are both out next week. You get Matt actually for one of your interviews. We learned that Matt is in for 3 days with Jesse Nelson. So hopefully Jesse won't have any flat tires, and he'll be able to host Jim, Matt, and Molly with Matt for 3 days. And I think Pablo Iglesias is in on Thursday. So, Jason, thanks so much for your time, and I'll catch up with you in a few weeks.
What's the thing that upsets him again? What do I need to bring up? We just talked about it a minute ago.
This is going to make Ryan kind of shudder here. The 9 wins. Matt basically is saying I'm being pedantic about it. And I was like, in baseball, the starting pitcher gets the win. It's a football stat. If you're a quarterback and you didn't play and you didn't start, you don't get the win. And so he was dying on the hill.
I'm going to come right out of the chute with that on
Please do. I think he's over it now, but it's been twice. He gets stuck in his craw, and I really don't know why. I think it's one of those things that he just doesn't want to let it go. Clearly, I don't either. But to me, it's one of the few times I'm unequivocally right. Like there's no black and white here. There's QB stats. Like Packers had 11 wins, but Jordan Love only played in 9 of those games. He gets the 9 wins. So
QB wins are not a stat, but for Hambone, I'm going to make sure that
they're not a stat, but they are. Like if you go to NFL, like you go to the site thing, they everyone tracks them.
They do.
Yeah,
yep.
But I agree with you. They should not be attached to the quarterback.
This one, I got to say, this conversation, the win goes to John.
Yes, absolutely. We'll go with that.
Thanks. All right, guys.
Jason, we'll catch
care,
up. See you. That's Jason Wilde right now, and I believe Jason Wilde will be a part of the fantasy football draft. But Wisconsin sports fans, it's almost that time of year. Football season is around the corner, and August 20th, the fantasy football draft is back, as ESPN Wisconsin will be in Milwaukee for another exclusive event. You can ask Ryan about where when you call in. Call to join the ESPN Wisconsin Fantasy League and go head-to-head with me, Matt, and Molly as your draft championship team. We're talking free food, great prizes, and the full VIP experience, all for fans 21 up. How many callers am I doing here?
We're going to do 3 callers here today. We're going to go callers 4, 5, and 6.
Caller number 4, 5, and 6. 844-770-3776. Caller number 4, 5, and 6. 844-770-3776. You will be entered into the draft. You just have to confirm your spot within 48 hours of the exclusive event. All right, 844-770-3776, call number 4, 5, and 6. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
So since I didn't go to college, can I just claim one, like Wisconsin?
We should campaign for schools in the state of Wisconsin to give Matt free stuff.
All the UW schools. Whoever gives Matt the most amount of free stuff is who Matt will pick.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That is true.
Who wants to give me an honorary degree?
Where would you take your honorary degree from?
Literally anywhere. Literally anywhere. Clown school.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank, with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at StarionBank.com. Member FDIC. A rising star? Freshman linebacker Cooper Catalano getting notable reps during fall camp. Jake Kokorowski of the Badger Observer backing up the young defender. His notes on the young talent during his appearance on the jump around.
It's been more and more impressive to kind of watch him, and he's received, some second team reps. I think he's carved out a role where with the way he can move around the field in terms of pass coverage, but also get down and downhill, I should say, and make plays against the run.
For long-lasting comfort and reliability, our craftsmen make it easy to trust Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Right now, get 0% interest for up to 5 years at PellaWI.com.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bars of the Month. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy the best High Life specials in Madison. Plus, to celebrate our love for dive bars, we'll be giving away a case of Miller High Life to one lucky fan every Thursday. Live the high life with Jim, Matt, and Molly and enjoy the champagne of beer in its natural environment. Like Chief's Tavern, The Rail House, Ideal Bar, The Wisco, and Remington's Tavern.
Condon Jewelers, Condon the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Immediate live show streaming, a homepage customized just for you, the brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. Your state, your teams, your ESPN.
If you're just doing this because you're starting to not believe the Packers are going to bring in a number one wide receiver.
The ESPN Wisconsin app. Everything in the palm of your hand.
Who are the top guys?
And
Ops. That is the problem.
No, I totally
That is the
agree.
problem. You have never called Xavier McKinney the wrong name.
Available in the Apple and Android App Store. Download the ESPN Wisconsin app today.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Dear Brewers fans, where do you find the best views and the most electrifying baseball action American Family Field has to offer? The answer is Toyota Territory, located in right field. This Grand Slam experience covers all the bases and gives fans in the stands an exclusive live look at our home run hitter, the Toyota Land Cruiser. Creating a lasting legacy, the Toyota Land Cruiser is seasoned to perform like your Milwaukee Brewers. Add Toyota to your lineup today. Now batting, Toyota.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. With a legacy of excellence and an extensive selection of quality Ford vehicles, it's the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at MetroFordofMadison.com. That's MetroFordofMadison.com. Or visit them on the east side of Madison today.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
This is former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station on Wisconsin.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center update brought to you by Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's premier roofing, siding, and window contractor since 2002. Visit them at ridgetopexteriors.com. We're just over 24 hours away from the Packers' preseason opener. Starters expected to get some playing time for the Packers after head coach Matt LaFleur said yesterday he also plans to get meaningful reps for all four of the team's quarterbacks, which would include QB1 Jordan Love. How long they'll be playing, however, is still to be determined. We'll figure that out tomorrow night. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. from Lambeau Field as the Packers host the Jets for the preseason opener. Also, listen back to our appearance with Jason Wilde just now on Jim, Matt, and Molly breaking down who he's watching for in the Packers' first preseason game. Meanwhile, the Milwaukee Brewers continue their run through the NL East this week as they welcome the Mets to AmFam Field. Milwaukee coming off a perfect 6-0 road trip against the Nationals and Braves. They got a chance to avenge their playoff loss from last season's wildcard series against the Mets. First pitch is scheduled for 7:10 p.m. right here on 100.5 ESPN. So pregame coverage starts about 30 minutes after we wrap up here on Jim, Matt, and Molly. Pregame starting at 6:35 p.m. Brandon Woodruff slated to start for the Brew Crew. Second hour of Jim, Matt, and Molly right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's
let
gonna
me get
swing
this
on
right.
Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
We're learning a lot about each other.
Murr.
It's Murr.
I'm the problem, it's Murr.
I'm not taking a lot of credit because I've done this before.
Well, it wasn't elite when Aaron Rodgers at the end of his career was there, Jim Rutledge. That sounded really silly for Jim Rutledge to say they've leveled down. So if Jim Rutledge is going to say they've leveled down, you would think that somebody lives in that state that would know that, named Jim Rutledge.
I'm already tired, by the way. Just hearing all of this, I'm already tired and exhausted. It was a day.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton and Molly Brown, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is hour number 2 of Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light. John, did you want to say it with me that time?
I've never said it, but I would have screwed it up because I would have said crack a Coors Light.
Can we do it one more time, Jim?
Sure. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors Light.
Yes, I'm Jim Rutledge. I have the power in the Everlight Solar Studio alongside John Audius and Primetime Laura Shine. We never specifically ask. We wait for people when they're comfortable, they can jump in. And so we're glad you've jumped in. It's a rite of passage when the co-host is ready to make it there. So John is now one of us.
One of us.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, man. The whole backstory of the One of Us thing is so messed up.
Wait, what did I miss?
No, it's from the movie, but in the movie, when they do the One of Us, the whole scene around it.
What movie? What is going on?
One movie, I'll get to the movie here, is Wolf of Wall Street. They do One of Us.
They do that in Wolf of Wall Street?
Where do you get one from?
Isn't that from a previous? I thought that was from what's the island movie? Where it's all the kids who are running the island, and it's a book you read in middle school.
Lord of the Flies.
I thought it was from Lord of the Flies.
It could be from that too.
Okay, but they do it in Wolf of Wall Street as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so background.
I can't really. It's a. I mean, every scene in that is One of Us. I mean, is it messed up? I would say this. So they're doing something not nice to a certain group of people.
Yes.
And to make them feel, they're like, we need to make them feel like we're laughing with them and not at them. So as we do this, we will chant One of Us. And so that's what they do. Probably get the audio for at least for the One of Us chant.
If it's in poor taste, though, do we want the audio?
Fair. I mean, the whole movie is also tongue-in-cheek. I don't think everyone gets that. A little movie history here. Wolf of Wall Street is satire. Like, the guy that wrote it, like, Jordan Belfort, like, he thinks, like, he's trying to tell the story as, like, look at me, I'm this great sales guy and I do all this stuff. But the way that Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio and everyone, acted in it, Jonah Hill, and filmed it, it's a comedy. It's satire of that whole lifestyle and
I can see that.
Now, unfortunately, there are way too many people in the world that think like that's how you should act, and like that Jordan is a salesperson you should be trying to be emulating, and that's a sales culture you should have. And they missed the point that Wolf of Wall Street is satire.
I'm not leaving.
So, were you aware it's satire?
Oh yeah, I know it's a satire. Though I did know a lot of guys in high school who thought that was like their role model movie. Not role models, not as in role models the movie, the comedy, which is also another clear satire, as in like that's the movie they try to emulate their lives after. Was Wolf of Wall Street.
I will say sometimes on my ex account I'll have that clip where Leo like sells penny stocks or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't stop watching it.
I love it. I love the movie.
It's one of the most mesmerizing movies you'll ever see.
But like, it's like a litmus test where it's like, do you know it's satire or not? I enjoy the movie. I could watch that. It's one of my most rewatchable movies. It's a great time.
I'm not leaving.
It's a great time because it's hilarious because I know none of it it's making fun of it all.
Yes.
So like that's why I feel okay watching it because it's making fun of that sort of lifestyle. But I digress.
Haven't watched it in 10 years.
Really?
Probably. I saw it one time.
I watched it for the first time over Thanksgiving with my family when it came out in 2012. I watched it with my brother and my mom.
That's rough.
Yeah. It was a awkward viewing experience for a 13-year-old Ryan.
Oh my God.
So awkward. Oh man.
Yeah.
I would have just walked outside and stayed in the snow for the rest of the night or whatever.
Oh,
it's such a long movie too. It's like 2.5 hours.
All right.
I once went to a movie. I was probably about the same age in the movie theater with my buddy, and my mom took us. And it was called, like, do you remember the movie Rising Sun? I'm going old.
Yeah,
with
that's
Sean Connery.
Oh, that one. Yep.
And there is some uncomfortable moments in that too. And I was like, oh, this is the worst day of my life. I do not enjoy this, and I never spoke of it again until right now.
Is your mom listening?
Probably not.
844-770-3776. Carlos Talk text line. List is more. Most uncomfortable movie you've seen with your parents.
Wolf of Wall Street has to be it for me.
I don't know how you top that one.
There are movies you could top it with. Here's another funny one.
But also, like, there has to be a movie where you're surprised by, like, what's going on.
Wolf of Wall Street, we shouldn't have been surprised. We just knew it was a great movie, and we all wanted to watch it.
Yeah, but there's specific scenes. One specifically where you're like, this is...
So
I'd rather rip out my fingernails than watch this with my mom.
Here's the thing, is at the time this movie had come out, like, 2 weeks prior. Like, nobody knew
That's what I mean.
Were.
So, like, that's why it's a perfect for you. Like, I don't, like... There's some where it's, like, obvious. So I want a true life story. Not the worst one to watch with your parents. I want a true life story where you stumbled into watching it. Because you could list off a bunch of movies that'd be worse. Like, The Exorcist is not great to watch with your parents. Like,
that would be a tough one.
Yeah. So, like, but I want one that you actually watched with your parent, like you shared with Wolf of Wall Street or Rising Sun. Born on the 4th of July is probably the one that sticks in my mind.
Is that like a rough movie to watch?
There's like one or two really rough, awkward scenes.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And there's a lot of, there's rough otherwise, but I think we're all talking about SEX here. Like, like that's the part that, like, that's the part that will be getting people uncomfortable watching the movie with their parents.
So now I don't understand why my mom took me to an R-rated movie in 1993. I'm learning more about Rising Sun with Wesley Snipes and Sean Connery. Why would my mom? I was like 14.
Maybe she just wanted to see it.
Yeah,
she didn't want to go alone.
She a big Wesley fan?
No,
big Sean Connery fan?
No.
So one that was rough for me. I did not watch this movie with my parents, thank God. But I gave them a recommendation for a movie not too long ago that I knew if I watched with them, it would be the worst thing ever. It was actually not the best. I think it won Best Picture last year. Honora, if you're familiar with that movie.
I have not seen it yet, no.
So Honora is a movie about a Russian stripper prostitute who falls in love with a Russian mafia member. And I would say the first 30 minutes of the movie is just like basically like hardcore Pretty Woman, essentially, you might say.
Okay.
And you recommended that to your parents?
It's a great film. And they wanted to know what to watch. So I was like, yeah, if you're looking for something like a good, like, Oscar-y film, this is what I would recommend.
What'd they say afterwards? Good pick?
So I talked to them the next morning, and I was like, all right, this is going to be uncomfortable. I'm very curious to know what they thought of it. And they're just like, yeah, we thought it was good.
Oh,
they didn't say anything.
They didn't like it.
They were just like, no, yeah, it was a good movie. It's a good recommendation.
It's so awkward. Like, remember when Netflix used to deliver DVDs to your house? We set that up for my parents.
Yeah.
I would specifically, like, avoid movies like what you just did to your parents. I would be like, give them the most family-friendly type of movies. I would avoid ones that I knew were not going to be, or that would be uncomfortable, or they'd be like, why did you get us that one?
Yeah. No, I'm trying to think. Baby Girl with Nicole Kidman would be one that.
Baby Girl?
Oh, isn't that about, like, she's like a cougar?
Yeah. And so actually funny, my wife watched it. I was like, I don't know if I even want to watch this with you. Like, I'm uncomfortable watching it with you. She's like, go have at it. Because it's a lot. I definitely wouldn't watch it with my parents, but there's a few movies where there's a lot going on that I never watched the 50 Shades, but like that's not one you would actually stumble into.
No, you would have to
know what that is.
You'd have to be pretty oblivious to not know. Imagine going into that not being like, oh, what's this movie about? And then just like flipping it on one night just with the kids.
I don't know how anyone could make that mistake with that one. That would be the one where, it'd be really hard to. But if it did happen, it would be the most. You'd probably have to stop it. You'd stop it right away.
Ryan, the psychedelic advisor, chimes in. Since you mentioned The Exorcist, I watched that movie when I was young with my grandma. Now my grandma lives next door to me, and next to my mom and my siblings. She wouldn't let me go home that night. She was terrified, and I think I was only 10. So, yeah, that one's a lot. That's a lot. Now. The one thing I want to clear up real quick here, if you chime in 844-770-3776, it's a Carlos Talking text line. List is more. The most awkward movie you've seen with your family.
Oh, Danny the Landscaper has a great submission as well. American Pie, because my dad and mom didn't want to talk to me about the SEX talk. So that was his education about the birds and the bees.
That is like the worst way to do it.
His parents were like, why don't you watch American Pie, son?
Go
the
watch
movie
this.
about a guy who doesn't know how to like handle his sexuality as a young man. Why don't you watch this to learn about the birds and the bees?
So his parents recommended that to him, is what you're telling me?
That's what Dana the Landscaper is saying on the talking text line.
I could not imagine myself being like, go to the movie where the guy with the pie,
yeah,
where he does the thing.
Yeah,
go watch that, son.
Just ruin pie for the rest of your life.
We got Don't Quote Me coming up next year, but I want this little bit of information I find fascinating, and I just confirmed it again. Did you guys know 50 Shades of Grey it originated as fan fiction from a famous movie series?
From a famous movie series.
Famous movie series.
So it came out in the 90s.
So E.L. James wrote the fan fiction under the name Snow Queen's Ice Dragon and published it on fan fiction websites before developing it into 50 Shades. It was initially called Master of the Universe.
He-Man?
No, you think, but no. It was incredibly popular. That would be amazing.
It's a spin-off of He-Man.
I kind of wish it was He-Man.
He-Man.
I kind of wish it was He-Man.
What
no.
does He-Man say every time when he powers up?
I have the power.
I have the power.
Anyways. He says it exactly like that. I'll give you a hint. See if you can get it real quick. The star of this movie series, which I think was 3 or 4 of them, was famously in one of a very another popular movie series that came out in like the 90s or mid-2000s or something like that.
Came out in the mid-2000s.
And the movie series that I'm talking about, the one that he was only in one of, was based off of a book. And then this guy was the star of this other movie
I'm so
series.
lost. I have no idea.
I can't do it.
Edward?
Norton?
No, Edward Cullen.
Scissorhands?
No, Twilight.
Edward Cullen.
Cullen.
Yeah, Edward Cullen and Bella Swan. Those were the initial story featured characters resembling Edward Cullen and Bella Swan, reimagined as Kristen Grey and Anastasia Steele. It was an alternative universe world where those characters are placed, and the dynamics are derivative of the movie Twilight. So it started as, and I'm not saying it's not a good book or anything like that, but it started as fan fiction off of Twilight.
I had no idea.
Right.
Is this true?
I've heard it multiple times. Just confirmed it again on Google. I don't think E.L. James fights it.
Wow.
Like she obviously turned it into a novel, and it's a very popular book. I don't know the quality of the novel, but it started off as fan fiction.
Can you go online and never mind.
You probably
I was going to say
can't.
and read the original. And I don't want to. I'm just curious. I'm not going to read it.
Wait,
definitely not reading it tonight.
Am I going to read 50 Shades of Grey or
no,
Twilight?
like the Twilight.
Master of the Universe.
Master of the Universe.
Castle Grayskull.
Castle Grayskull.
Skeletor.
So there is somebody who just called in. Brian from Stoughton has a very uncomfortable story about watching Love Actually with his parents for the first time.
I like Love Actually.
Brian, you're on the line.
Yeah, it was my wife and I had my mom, my stepdad, and my grandmother over for Christmas. And so we thought, hey, let's watch a Christmas movie. Mm-hmm. We had never seen it, so we throw Love Actually in. And I don't know if you have seen it, but for a 95-year-old grandma seeing some of those, sex scenes where they're just kind of staring at the camera, it was quite uncomfortable. She never came back over after that.
I do like those. I know exactly what you're talking about. Those don't resonate with me as like key parts of the movie, but two of the characters that fall in love in this were like adult actors. And so they have these scenes.
Oh, they were fill-ins.
Fill-ins, you're right. Fill-ins,
Yes,
that's
I
right.
forgot
Fill-ins,
about that part.
They were fill-ins for the adult actors, so they were like body doubles. So they'd stand there because the other ones, like, they would hold the spot for the shot until it was time to perform. Yeah, that would be
You
awkward.
wouldn't think that there'd be that much nudity and that much sex in the movie.
Yeah, no, that's a great point because like I think of that as not maybe family friendly, but it's a rom-com and like a holiday movie.
I honestly forgot about that aspect of it. Yeah.
But I didn't watch it with family that I would be embarrassed to see naked people with. So, yeah, thank you for the story there.
Yeah, she was 95 and she was uncomfortable.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
How are you feeling, Brian?
Yeah, we got through it.
Yeah, I think honestly because it is pretty. Thanks for the call. It's pretty innocuous in the movie. Like it didn't stand out to any of us. But it's one of those things where the reaction of others definitely makes it stand out more.
When he first said it, I was like, oh, it's a fun little movie. It's a nice movie. A lot of people like that movie. What's going on? Yeah, that would be awkward now that I remember that scene. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, again, that's a very specific type of awkward, of like a very elderly relative watching it with you.
Yeah.
I think my wife, it was Good Luck Chuck with
Oh, yeah,
Dink.
that would be a tough one
I think
to
she
watch.
rented that, and like, I forget why her dad was over or whatever, so they were just, and so they watched that.
Yeah, a Dane Cook movie with your dad.
She didn't know. Dane Cook is like, he had he's literally a flash in the pan. He had like 5 minutes.
All time.
Yeah.
All time flash in the pan.
And now he's married, and I just want to bury him. He's married to like a 19-year-old.
Oh, Jessica Alba's in Good Luck Chuck.
Yeah, she is.
But like, they dated for a while. So like, if you do the math, it's like, weird timeline
Tough.
there, Dane.
Good Luck Chuck was a big fan of that movie when I was like 10 or 11.
Was that popular? Did that hit?
It was in my house.
Okay. I've never seen it. My wife might still own it. I've
It's a
just
good
never
flick.
seen it.
It's a good flick.
I just got so out on Dane Cook long before all this sort of thing. It's just like he had like a very specific shtick, and then I was like, all right, I kind of passed. And then
Very zany.
Yeah. It worked for a minute. All right. We got one more spot to give away in the fantasy football
We sure
draft.
do. One more spot for the fantasy football draft. The Jim, Matt, and Molly League. You get to join our league if you call in.
All right, yeah. So you join our league. It's in Milwaukee. Ryan will give you the location. It's on August 20th. And all you have to do is be the first caller, 844-770-3776. We filled 2 out of 3 spots. 844-770-3776. The first caller will get a chance to join this league. And look, you make the trip to Milwaukee, but you get free food, great prizes, and you got to be 21 and up. So a great VIP experience at the location in Milwaukee. So 844-770-3776. The first caller gets the last spot to this fantasy football league. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly.
So, random Marlin player, Dan Ugla.
All that's going through my head right now is UGLY. You ain't got no alibi. You ugly.
I'll give you another one real quick before we get to our side and poll question.
You ugla. You ugla.
Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They have Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owns. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Get ready for the ultimate Saturday night at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. Join us for the all-new Queen of Hearts drawing at 4, 6, 8, and 10 p.m. This is your chance for royal glory. When your name is drawn, choose the right card and you could win a life-changing jackpot, up to $150,000. The longer the Queen stays hidden, the bigger the jackpot grows. Let's Hard Rock with the Queen of Hearts only at Hard Rock Casino Rockford. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? Discover TPC Wisconsin, an instant classic in the heart of the Midwest. With a course co-designed by Steve Stricker and PGA Tour Designs, it's the 13th and newest TPC Network golf club in the world. Other high-quality amenities include a short game practice area, athletic performance center, and meeting and dining facilities, plus membership benefits that reach around the globe. Schedule a tour at tpcwisconsin.com and start your journey to a lifetime of priceless golf.
Madison's financial challenges need a Dane County-based bank. Starion Bank is a full-service community bank that delivers quality big bank services with a local approach. We are proud to be there for any budding entrepreneur or small businesses, helping them exceed their financial goals from banking to lending to cash management. Visit a banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, taking you farther.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
The Bucky Badger Student Mascot Fund was created to support the amazing student athletes who bring the best mascot in the world to life.
My name is Jake Huser. I was Bucky from 2021 to 2024, and my favorite memory of being Bucky was winning a national championship with both volleyball in 2021 and women's hockey in 2023.
Your donation will help fund new scholarships to ensure that the rich tradition of Bucky lives on. Learn more at supportbucky.org. That's supportbucky.org.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
When I jumped off, I had a bucket full of thoughts. When I first jumped off, I held that bucket in my hand.
Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. Madison's locally owned, Madison's family owned, Madison's custom jeweler. Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. Official jeweler of the Tauscher family, Scalzo family. I've shopped there as well. So many great places, or so many great opportunities to find the right piece of jewelry that you're looking for at Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. Jim Rutledge, John Adias with you in the Everlight Solar Studio. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. You can stream us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream and the ESPN Wisconsin at Primetime Lorsheim behind the glass. And Prime, we're going to get to Don't Quote Me here.
We're not saying it's gonna happen.
Let it ride!
But if it does, then we want credit.
Say that again, because that is an amazing take.
I told you all.
If not, well...
Don't quote me, boy, because I ain't said.
Yeah, guys, this is one of our favorite segments for the football season or whenever we got a big game to talk about. Guys, there's no bigger game than a preseason opener, baby. This is when we get the juices flowing. Packers football is officially back this Saturday. They host the Jets at Lambeau Field. 7 p.m. kickoff. But, guys, we're obviously in a divided show right now. We got me, the Packers fan, John, the Vikings fan, Jim, the Bears fan. All of our teams have their preseason openers this weekend. So, why don't we make some predictions for what's going to happen in all the respective games, right? We want to make long shot predictions. Now, these are don't quote me's. So we're going to say, this is what we think's going to happen. This is what we're calling our Babe Ruth shot, pointing to the outfield bleachers. But if it doesn't end up happening, it's fine because you're not allowed to quote us unless we want you to. That's Jim's.
Yes.
As Jim has probably been saying all week, is don't quote me anymore, guys.
Right.
Don't quote me anymore. But, John, I'll start with you. What is your don't quote me long shot prediction for the Vikings preseason opener? Who are they playing?
Texans.
Texans. Okay. What's your don't quote me prediction for the game?
Well, this has to do with J.J. McCarthy. First game back after the injury last season. I believe he's going to play a series from what I read on the internet here today. So let's say he plays one series. Now, don't quote me, but J.J. McCarthy's going to go 5 for 5 with a touchdown in his only series.
Okay.
Back on the field.
Okay.
For the Minnesota Vikings.
Okay. How many yards are we thinking?
What'd you get in that series? I mean, he's going to go 5 for 5 for
30 yards.
51 yards.
51? Okay. He's letting it air out a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a touchdown.
And you think it's just one series for McCarthy?
I don't know how much. I would hope it'd be more. I read something here that said he's going to play one series. I don't know.
Caleb's not playing in the Bears.
He's not playing in the opener.
No, he's playing. He played a lot today in the joint practice. I think he'll do a lot tomorrow. So the Bears are leaning more into the joint practice. So the starter's not playing for the Bears. Ben Johnson will said there will be a game. It will not be this game that the starters will play. Now, what he did that I think negates it, one, the joint practices. They have joint practices against the Dolphins and the Bills. So they got the Bills coming up next week. And then also when they did their family night, the McCaskey family basically paid for the Bears to treat that game as it was a home game, which means they stayed in the hotel. They did the whole pomp and circumstance, everything that you would go through for a game so they know what the game day will be like under Ben Johnson, including staying at the hotel and the curfew, the whole thing, the night before family night. So they kind of walk through some of the things that maybe you want to work out as far as jitters and being in Soldier Field for the first time with fans around. They work some of that out between family night and then obviously during practices. But my don't quote me will be Tyson Bagent, who has been crushing it in camp. I think he's going to throw 2 touchdown passes. Wow. And I think he's going to play half. I think he's going to play half of the game. And I think one of them will be to Luther Burden, who, on a side note, will have a better year than Matthew Golden. But Luther Burden is going to have a touchdown as well. Wow. Luther Burden would have been, by all accounts, a easy first-round pick last year. But he went back to his draft profile was a top 10 pick the year before. He did nothing change outside of the quarterback that he played with. And so his college stats fell off a cliff because he went from like a okay quarterback to someone who couldn't play at all. So, like, for an example, his sophomore year, 86 catches, 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns, 14 yards per catch.
Why don't you, in primetime, make some sort of bet for the season?
We will, because I'll be saving on that. That's the first time I've laid out that take. But the only concern,
you've mentioned it off air once or twice.
The only concern I have about it is opportunity. Sure. Because there's Roma Dunze and DJ Moore, and they also have Olamide Zaccheaus, who I think they like in the slot. So Burden might not fully get his sea legs until maybe week 4 or something like that. Like, it might take him a little bit of time, but I think when the season's said and done, Luther Burden is going to be viewed as a better receiving futures prospect than Matthew Golden.
Ooh, clip that right there.
He's a second-round pick. They weren't picked that far apart either. Okay. So it's not like it's some massive shot there. So
the only difference is that the one in Green Bay's just got a better quarterback, but what does that matter? Anyways, so my prediction then for the Packers preseason opener is that we've been getting a lot of smoke from Matt LaFleur about how much the starters are really going to be playing in this game. He's been saying, it's going to be up to what I feel in the moment. So he did say that he's going to try and get all 4 quarterbacks meaningful reps. So we know Jordan Love's going to see the field to start the game. I'm predicting that we only see one single play from Jordan Love and the rest of the offensive starters, because that first play is going to be a touchdown bomb.
Felt like Green Bay to me.
They're going to get a touchdown first play of the game. I'm not sure how it's going to happen. I don't know if it's a Jordan Love deep pass to Matthew Golden, Dontavian Wicks like it was a couple years ago, or maybe Josh Jacobs just breaks one. Who knows? But then my other prediction on top of that as well, I'm predicting the defensive starters are playing 1 snap only as well. I think they get a turnover on the first play.
Okay, yeah, you are going all in. I like this.
It's the opener. How can we not get excited? Come on.
Don't quote him, but geez.
Xavier McKinney's not even playing. It doesn't matter. We don't have the interception machine. Who knows? Maybe Matt's guy, Rashawn Gary, will get a strip sack of Justin Fields and run it all the way back.
Now, let me follow up on that, because let's say that actually plays out for the offense, and it's a bomb and it's a touchdown. Do you not think they would put him back out for another series in real life?
I think they're playing one series, and if that series is just one play,
I think
touchdown,
they'd be like a reward. I don't think. I mean, the Packers have a joint practice, right, as well.
They have a joint practice coming up with the Seahawks.
Yeah,
the end
so
you're saying they would take him, they'd be done.
I think it'd be like, you know what,
one and done.
A reward. Maybe they'll have to play a little bit more in a different game or something like that. Okay. But I think
that's kind of what they did last year too. I think they played 3 snaps, and the third was a deep pass to Dontavian Wicks. He caught the ball, defender falls down, and he runs into the end zone, and then they were done for the day. So I think that's the mentality. I mean, most of the starters, most of those guys don't really need that many reps. The only guy who, maybe I'd hope like Jordan Morgan stays in, especially if he's going to be getting the left tackle reps. But I don't know if he'll be I don't think he'll be on the field with the starters, so he'll get more snaps later in the game. But yeah, that is my very, very much don't quote me prediction for the Packers preseason
That
opener.
is a bold one. I love it. I love the boldness of that take there.
By the way, every time I do this, I really feel like it's going to happen. Like I go bold, and then there's part of me that's like, this is going to happen. This is going to happen, and it never does. But it's fun. I guess my point is, because I always go into that game after my bold predictions, don't quote me, and I'm like, oh boy, let's see if this actually pull one off here, baby. No.
I remember you had one. I think you were on the show with Jesse and Matt hosting once, and I think we were doing predictions for just like wild card weekend or maybe playoff games.
Yeah.
And you had one that with Saquon Barkley that I think came pretty close. You were like, he's going to get over 200 rushing yards. And it was the game against the Rams. It was the game against the Rams where he would have if he hadn't run for 3 touchdowns. Like he was just cut off because he kept scoring.
There was one. I think there was one I was super close on.
Yeah,
that Matt got a stickler on. I was like, because I was a little bit over. I'm like, Matt,
There
this
was
is 95% there.
There was one that you had that was really annoying. I can't remember it. Dang it.
Yeah, maybe we'll remember it at some point here. But we're gonna go pole dancing on the other side. Is Jim, Matt, and Molly presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Madison on YouTube.
Bringing summer gatherings to the next level is just another thing we do at Celebrations Entertainment. Hi, it's Jeffrey. With rental items like sound equipment, photo booths, and even yard games, you can make your event the party that everyone talks about. Any event like graduation parties, block parties, or even a backyard barbecue can be elevated with fun, interactive items to make everyone ask, hey, how'd you pull this off? Just tell them celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bars of the Month. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy the best High Life specials in Madison. Plus, to celebrate our love for dive bars, we'll be giving away a case of Miller High Life to one lucky fan every Thursday. Live the high life with Jim, Matt, and Molly and enjoy the champagne of beer in its natural environment. Like Chief's Tavern, The Rail House, Ideal Bar, The Wisco, and Remington's Tavern.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Hey, Drew and Jonathan Scott here. Build a customized renter's policy with American Family Insurance so you can protect your tandem bike on the go. Thief! Oh, he is struggling with that two-seater. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Some exclusions may apply. Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI and its operating companies. 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Bruner Realty and ESPN Madison have teamed up again for the 5th annual Putts for Pups golf outing benefiting the Dane County Humane Society. Join us for a day of golf at Black Hawk Country Club on September 19th. Since it started in 2021, Putts for Pups has raised over $120,000 for the Dane County Humane Society. Donate or find out how you can get involved at putsforpups.com. Putts for Pups is proudly sponsored by Badgerland Exteriors, Alts Operations, Zimbrick Automotive, and Vortex Optics.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly open Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
There's lots to see and do at the Dodge County Fair. Fun for me and you. There's good times in the air.
Get ready for Dodge County's biggest event this summer, the Dodge County Fair, happening August 13th through the 17th. 5 days of nonstop action with Badger State tractor pulls, demo derbies, and live music from Diamond Rio, Corey Kent, and 38 Special, all on the grandstand stage. Bring the family for pig, duck, and goat races, Nick's Kids Show, the Ready Go Dog Show, incredible exhibits, mouth-watering fair food, and much more. Grab season tickets now, just $35. Available at the fair office, Piggly Wiggly in Beaver Dam and Juneau, the market at Beaver Dam, Leroy Meats, most Dodge County banks, or online at DodgeCountyFairgrounds.com. Don't miss the fun, the Dodge County Fair, August 13th through the 17th.
Come on, everyone, to the Dodge County Fair.
Hey, it's Molly Brown from Jim, Matt, and Molly. I've been drinking ZOA Energy for a while now, and I absolutely love it. ZOA is my go-to beverage when I need a boost without the crash that comes with other energy drinks. It's packed with natural ingredients like vitamin B and C, electrolytes, and has zero sugar. It fuels my workouts and busy days. I recently had twins, and I have a toddler, so I need all of the energy I can get. Head over to ZOAEnergy.com to find the location nearest to you to pick up some ZOA for yourself. ZOA Energy for balance and drive.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
They dance above me as I sing. I see them through
Phish Friday
crystal haze.
rolls on here on Jim, Matt, and Molly. Go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Millions of dollars have won every single weekend at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. So go be a winner and go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. Jim Rutledge, John Audius with you in the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. Primetime Laura Sean behind the glass. Stream us on the ESPN Madison YouTube stream and the ESPN Wisconsin app. It is a Friday, so we don't throw stones. Instead, we go pole dancing.
We asked, and you answered.
What?
Coming to the stage, it's pole dancing on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Hey now.
Presented by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Yeah, guys, and I got some terrible news for the Jim, Matt, Molly fans out there because young Riley Elk, his voice is off this week. Young Riley is out on a road trip to Utah, apparently. What? And I didn't know that until this morning. So that means I will be answering the poll questions here on pole dancing today. I don't know if you know this, John, but Riley Elk has an incredibly talented voice. And Jim, how would you describe Riley Elk's pole dancing voice?
It is honestly like Casey Kasem-esque.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But he does, it's really great. But I would say Casey Kasem at a gentleman's club.
Yes. So he does it really well. My voice is not quite as attuned to the gentleman, the kickstart my heart, but I'll give it my best shot, guys. So, guys, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning, they heard our poll question from yesterday asking, would you give up 5 years of the Packers making the playoffs for the Brewers to win a World Series? Well, they copied our poll question, and then they also had their own secondary poll question. This one generated by Gabe Neitzel. If the Brewers make the World Series and play on October 26th, are you watching the Brewers World Series game or Packers versus Steelers? Week 8, Packers football, Sunday night football. Guys, 71% of respondents saying Brewers World Series game, 29% saying Packers Steelers. Jim, what are you saying?
I'm going to put myself as the fans are going to say that. And I think the majority, I don't know if it's truly 70-something%, the majority would watch the Brewers in the World Series. But I think the true poll question answer, if people, like, you went into their hearts, it's probably 60-40. But I still think the World Series wins out.
I think the World Series would win out. What were the numbers on that?
The final results were 71% saying Brewers World Series game, 29% saying Packers Steelers.
Oh, I think late October World Series. I understand the drama that is occurring on another network at the time in this hypothetical, but I think you got to go Brewers World Series. Which, by the way, I mean, we don't have to. I understand it's a hypothetical question. There's no shot at Gabe, but I mean, it's 2025. I mean, we've got devices.
Yeah, it's true.
This isn't even an issue.
That's the real answer.
So that was the good conversation they actually ended up having. He and Chewy got into it because Chewy's like, I'm not even watching the World Series game. I'm not paying attention. He's like, if I have 2 TV screens, I'm watching 2 TV screens of Packers Steelers. So the real question is just which one do you have on like your smaller secondary screen and what's the main screen?
Oh, main screen baseball.
Because what I also would say is that for me, if it wasn't, I mean, I'd watch the Brewers, obviously, for work, and again, I don't hate the Brewers. But if it's not the Brewers or the Cubs, I'm not watching a World Series.
It's a good point.
Like, I just don't care
Would you
anymore.
just be watching a Week 8 Sunday Night Football game, though?
Yeah. Well, that specific one, for sure.
Fair. Okay.
I would tune into the World Series if it's not Brewers. If like I see on Twitter or whatever that something
Big
it's
going
close
on.
or or something, or the
I mean, I
title's at
might
stake
check
or-
in on it, but I'm not.
I think it was back in like 2018. I want to say the Rays were playing maybe the Dodgers in the World Series, and it was like a really great game. And like I was at a party, and everyone had to stop and watch the game. It was really fun. Yeah,
a party that watched baseball.
yeah. And we were a smart crew. We were a smart crew.
Nice.
But guys, our next poll question here from the Homer Hour, the other show going on over at ESPN Milwaukee. Yesterday, their poll question was, who is the worst quarterback in the NFC North? 1% of fans saying Jared Goff, 42% saying Caleb Williams, 12% saying Jordan Love, 45% coming in for J.J. McCarthy. John, want to ask you?
Yeah, I would vote the same way because there's nothing, you don't know anything about him yet. I think that's a no-brainer. I think it's I think it's McCarthy, Williams, Love, and then Goff.
Jim?
Yeah, same. Yeah, that's not shocking.
I don't think that's shocking.
I would say the numbers of 42% for Williams and 45% for McCarthy, like that big a gap, and then Jordan Love at 12%.
Well, that's Bears haters.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah.
And then Jared Goff, a measly 1%. Everyone agrees he is definitely not the worst quarterback in the NFC North.
100%.
Yeah.
Would you guys be shocked if that ended up being the case this year? If it's somehow Caleb and J.J. McCarthy both left him?
I would say the more likely scenario is one of those guys is Leap Love.
Leap Love. And then
But if Goff is like just tanks, just like 21 and 16.
Yeah.
TDs, the picks.
And if Jordan Love gets 10% better and Jared Goff gets 10% worse.
Goff had like 30-some.
Okay,
he almost had 40 touchdowns last year, didn't he?
Bad Goff with the Rams in 2020, 67% completion percentage, 4,000 yards, 20 touchdowns, 13 interceptions.
That's not
That's
20
bad Goff.
Yeah, that's bad.
No, right, but the rest of those numbers, Jordan Love would kill for.
The 4,700 yards.
Yeah,
the
but I
67.
think-
Or did you say 47?
4,000 yards,
4,000.
67% completion percentage.
I mean,
the QB rated at 90.
If Jordan Love stays healthy, he's going to get to 4,000
But
yards.
I'm saying that was bad Goff. Over the last 3 years, he's averaging 68% completion percentage, 4,500 yards, and 30 touchdowns against 11 interceptions.
If you're putting money, you think Jared Goff has to be the best quarterback this year? If you're putting money on it, who's going to be the best?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll keep it moving then, guys. Going back to Jen, Gabe, and Shuey. Now, this is one they asked earlier in the week. No idea what the context was. But are you expected to have your significant other as your background on your phone? 9% of fans saying yes, 91% saying no. Jim and John, who do you have as the background on your phone?
So I'll hold it up here. I do have, it's from our game we went to, the Brewers-Cubs game, and my wife is there with it's all of us. It's the entire family as the background on my phone. I don't feel like I'm required to. And then on the inside, it's like my girls at the zoo. But for the most part, like, what am I going to put on there otherwise?
Like a Bears logo?
That's kind of, I mean, I don't want to.
Yeah, you could put a Bears logo.
You could, but like, it
How
feels.
disrespected would your wife feel?
I don't think she'd feel disrespected. I don't think she really cares, but like, I don't know. It feels very like I'm 22.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got Grogu, Baby Yoda, as one of my options, but it's my daughter.
Yeah.
With Grogu or just?
No, I'm sorry. These are two separate things. The,
Well, I
the
do
current
have-
background is just my daughter.
Oh.
Now let me see here. I do
Her
have,
birthday party.
and I've had just my kid. Well, I have two, so I always have to have both. That's the bigger faux pas. You cannot have one kid on there.
Oh, that would be crazy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you got to have, yeah.
But like, I have a Focus one that has pictures from FAU, so it's like the FAU campus with the palm trees. That's like, just like for like nighttime focus, or whatever. And then I have another one that's a Do Not Disturb. That's from I don't know where I was. I think this is Governor Dodge. So
why do you need different backgrounds for different modes?
It helps me know what's like, so then I can be aware, like, oh, this is a do not disturb mode, to remind myself almost.
Can you do that where the mode changes the background? Like if you click on do not disturb, it automatically changes? Or are you saying you just change it? And
no,
then...
automatically. So like that's what I mean. I have like multiple ones on here.
That's a super neat feature.
So that I'm aware. And like sleep mode. So if you hold down the photo as on your phone, like if you put your thumb on it and hold down it,
we just walked into the Apple store all of a sudden.
Yeah,
and then it should pop up, and then it should be like mine will say like sleep. So you have to set it up.
Oh, it does say that.
John,
can I ask you a question?
John's phone just flashed 4 times.
Why does your phone flash all the time?
Because I used to work full time in radio, and it would always like a bzz, bzz, bzz,
okay.
Bzz, and then I was like, you know what? I didn't want to miss anything in case it's important.
Yeah.
So I set it up to flash, and I have never changed it back.
Okay, that I was honestly initially yesterday. I was like, he just like old man somehow set a setting that like left it on because our old general manager. I'll put him on blast. Ken Rovac used to do that all the time. Like he would turn on the flashlight on his phone.
The flashlight.
Oh,
and
that's
it would just
the funniest.
He'd be walking around like flashlight out of his pocket. Like you just see it coming through his pants in his pocket or whatever.
When you see somebody walking around in their khakis and you just see a light coming through on their right pocket.
It's like, all right, Grandpa.
I did that just so it wouldn't make noise or
that makes sense.
Like out the corner of my eye, I'm like, okay, maybe our guest is gonna
That was the one thing to end us on phones. We gotta get the break here. That I liked about the Android phone is at the top they had like a flashing green light if you had messages.
Oh yeah.
So you could like aware because otherwise you like it's on the lock screen. Like it'll pop up in your screen and you can look, but otherwise I kind of negated that with the Apple Watch. Now I just get the notifications and so I can see on here.
I took off my Apple Watch because it was annoying me. Because it was constantly like, hey, look over at your wrist.
Yeah.
Stop paying attention to what you're doing.
That's why I got the do not disturb and sleep. So now I've set it up of like, well, depending on what I'm doing, I feel okay looking at my wrist. If I'm at home or during the show, then I don't do it as much. So you can again the more you know. This has been J&K Security Solutions, locally owned, family owned business. They are veteran owned as well. They can help you with your security for your home or your business. They also have commercial fire prevention as well. So J&K Security Solutions. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Oh, we're heading out of here. So I will talk to all of you on the 18th. John, you're out too. I'm
going to Door County on Monday, baby.
Fantastic. Love Door County. And then it'll be Matt Hamilton and Jesse Nelson for 3 days next week. Pablo Iglesias for a day with Jesse. And then I believe it's KBN taking you into Brewers baseball. Speaking of Brewers baseball, that's coming up at 6:34. They take on the Mets. This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly. Who's on the bike Coors Light. Jim Rutledge here. It's officially camping season, which means I will be using my